Hello, once again to Infosec 2024. Now, it was a mere 14 years ago at Infosec 2010 that I was introducing this young man, Mr. Brian Honan, all the way from Ireland. Independent consultant, great guy. Follow him on Twitter if you don't already. He's got some of the best tweets out there. He's also the founder of Ireland's CERT, the Computer Emergency Response Team. So when Ireland have a problem, and if no one else can help, they go to Brian. And we're back again to say, like, Brian, thank you for being on my show. And what brings you to Infosec? What brings you to Infosec this year?
I come for a number of reasons, but mainly it's actually to meet people like yourself or other people, just to re-establish relationships, network with people, find out what's going on in the community, or to meet with new people and extend the community and see what's going on in different parts of the world and how people are getting on.
Meet friends and contacts like yourself, and just to catch up with people and see how the world is treating them.
I'm asking the same questions I asked last time, 14 years ago, and then I want to compare them to see whether Brian has the same answers. Okay, so funnily enough, when we were here last time, 14 years ago, not last time, but 14 years ago, I said we're just coming off the back of a recession. As everyone knows, we're coming off the back of a bad recession, and we're kind of in tough times as well now after the pandemic and everything. So companies that can't spend a lot of money on security, what should they focus on? Like, how can they get better security without breaking the bank?
Well, I think there's a number of ways they could look at things. First of all is to sweat the products they have already. What hasn't changed has been people's behaviors.
Well, there's a lot of things that can be done without necessarily having to spend any money. First of all, it's the people problem, and that's a problem that's going to happen whether it's recession or not.
We still need to make sure that we enable people better to be more secure, to spot security threats, know what to do and how to respond to them as well.
So making sure you do your security awareness and communicate with staff on a regular basis about the risks and the threats that are out there.
To that question, last time you also mentioned the role that open source software has to play in that.
The other area I think a lot of companies need to do is look at the whole area of open source technology. You know, just because it's an open source technology doesn't mean it's any less good. So that's bad grammar, if you excuse me there, but you know, it doesn't mean it's any worse than the big name brands.
I think actually what we're seeing now is open source is even more and more integral than it was 14 years ago. If you just look at some of the biggest vulnerabilities we've had in the past few years, like Heartbleed, etc. We're seeing a lot of commercial products actually bringing in open source libraries. As a more experienced cybersecurity professional, you do need to understand that open source is integral and part of your day-to-day environments now, whether that's internal in your environment or in the cloud, and you need to be aware of it and manage it accordingly.
I think you covered all the points, really. That's really what we spoke about.
Is that what we spoke about that?
I know. We're a bit older than before, slightly.
Slight. Still as good looking though.
Still as good looking, bit
Still
grayer.
as mature.
How do you see the future of the industry panning out? You see a lot more people involved in the industry or wanting to break into the industry. As a Infosec elder now, is there any wisdom you'd like to pass down to people who are like maybe in their early few years of the career?
I think where we're going to see things changing is, and I hate to say this in the midst of a floor that's full of vendors selling their wares, but there's going to be huge consolidation in the market. With everybody moving more and more to the cloud, that's where everything's going to happen. So the endpoint won't really matter as much anymore. It's managing your data and managing where your key risks are. So I think what professionals need to do is kind of look forward to the future and see, okay, where is this trend happening? And if everybody's moving to the cloud, well then how do we manage the business risk in the cloud? Cybersecurity as a separate industry, this is my bold prediction now, cybersecurity as a separate industry will probably be much smaller because it's going to be subsumed into business risk and into the core part of other technologies such as cloud providers, operating systems, etc.
Bold predictions. And as you can see, it's like a merry-go-round. What's old is new again. Nothing really changes, even though we think it changes. But hopefully Brian will be here for a long time to come. And maybe in 14 other years, we'll be sitting here having this exact same conversation. So I think Brian leaves us with some very good thoughts.
At that age, we'd probably having the same conversation every day because we won't remember what we're talking about.
That's right. Purity, thank you very much.